Terrifying news about the war against ISIS. Our Russian Vladimir Putin helping ISIS in Syria. The Obama administration's point man for defeating ISIS gave this warning today.
We were working with local opposition forces to move east to fight ISIL. And that was a very sophisticated endeavor, but as the Russian airstrike campaign has begun, particularly north of Aleppo, those fighters are now peeled off that line to go fight the regime advance. And this is causing us real problems for the counter-ISIL campaign. And frankly, we tell the Russians this very clearly. You say you're fighting ISIL, but what you're doing is actually having a detrimental effect to the fight against ISIL.
Fox News Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge is here. Causing real problems is the way he describes this.
I mean, that's really an understatement. What we learned in that testimony today is that with the Russian airstrikes, this sort of siege of Aleppo now by the Syrian forces and then support by Iran, they're effectively creating a humanitarian crisis in this city.
Deliberately?
Clearly. Deliberately.
Okay, I'm saying, is there any sort of defense to this at all?
I don't know how you can defend taking 30,000 people and cutting off food and water to them and calling that anything but coordinated.
What's the Obama administration doing this? Where's this great coalition we have that's supposed to be fighting this?
Well, one of the other things that's now clear with the testimony is that the U.S. is not willing to bring in the assets it has to instigate a no-fly zone to offer some protection for Aleppo, because that is what would be required, but it's not a step the U.S. is willing to take right now.
But I thought we had a coalition. I mean, maybe if we're not willing to do it for whatever reason, where's this grand coalition that's supposed to be doing this stuff?
Well, someone's got to lead the coalition, and we're not willing to take that step right now. But
why?
I can't speak to that, but I can tell you that what is happening in Aleppo is coordinated. It's between the Syrian forces, the Russian airstrikes, and then also Iranian support. So you have this sort of access that's cutting off 30,000 people, and at this point, the U.S. is not going to intervene. The other thing we learned today is that the administration feels that as much as they would like to see Assad leave, that this would create yet another power vacuum in Syria and create a new opening for ISIS.
Well,
it's very sad.
Very sad.
Yeah.
It's Assad, it's Russia, and it's Iran all palling up against these people in Aleppo. This is incredible.
Yeah,
anyway.
very sad.
Catherine,